And we're going to say welcome to our third panel of the day. We want to welcome the Wade family. You guys want to introduce yourselves to our attendees that are watching here? Who all we got?
Let's see. We got me, Martheus Wade, and
Anakin Wade.
You can just see his hair basically over the.
Hey, and I'm Janet Wade. Hello.
I was gonna say, Anakin, you've got the coolest name. I like that.
Anakin's so big, man.
Yeah, he's grown up. So his first Superman celebration was actually he was only a couple of months old.
He was only a couple months old.
So
this is actually my first one. So you
really?
You beat by a couple of decades actually.
Really?
Wow. This is gonna be my first one, and then as I tell people, that lovely thing called 2020 hit, and then everything went to pot.
Yeah.
But we are glad to have you guys with us. We're delighted to have you with us here. You guys are comic book artists for folks who don't or aren't familiar with your work. I'm just learning about you guys myself. We just became Facebook friends this week, and I'm looking forward to meeting you guys because, like I said, you guys do comics for kids, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us a little bit about the books that you guys do.
You want to go? You want me to go?
You go ahead and go.
Well, we do. We started out a long time ago when we first started going to Superman Celebration. We had a book called Jedi Tales of Toshigawa, and that was pretty. It was pretty successful. We got a deal, like a kind of like a quasi development deal off of it and stuff like that. It was really adult like comic book, and we ended up having we knew we were going to end up having Anakin. We wanted to do something that was still in that same vein, but do something that was a little bit more kid friendly. And that was just fun. So we ended up doing the stories that I initially before I did Jedi, I wanted to do these like ninja stories, but they were with a younger version of the characters. I just went back to that same idea and then just writing stories and stuff like that, and it ended up being developed as Shinobi Ninja Princess. So that's where we are now with Shinobi Ninja Princess, and we're doing the rounds. You know, the books have been gone through scholastic book fairs. It is in bookstores across the U.S. and on Amazon and on Comixology and stuff, and it's been doing really, really, really well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, next step would be like animated, series would be really, really cool. So that's what we're working on. Hopefully. So.
That's awesome, guys. I was gonna say that is the discussion I've had with several of my friends that are in the industry, that there are so many companies like DC and Marvel. They are just, it's like put books out for kids. That's the low hanging fruit right there. I mean, that's your audience you should be going for right now.
Right.
And it's really kind of fallen to like some of the indie creators to come up with really good stuff for kids.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of what we felt like we were. I've always been the type of dude to like I don't like going the same way that a lot of other people go. You know what I mean? Like, so when we started doing, like, say when we first came out, we were like, oh, we're gonna do Jedi Tales of Toshigawa, but we're gonna do it as trades. It's just all trades. It's not gonna be any kind of, it's all graphic novels. You know, we're not gonna do any single issues, and that was fun, right? I love doing it, but then a lot of other people started doing it. Trade market kind of blew up, and it kind of like diluted what we did because we were still indie. So, you know, you still competing with Marvel and DC to do that type of stuff. So I was like, you know, I was just kind of like, you know, let's do something else. And one of the things that people just wasn't having fun at the time, as far as like, you know, comic books, and I love comic books being serious, like a serious, like sit down read medium where, you know, you reading something about Superman and he's going with his inner turmoil and his inner, you know, thoughts of being this, you know, heroic guy that wants to do the best by everyone and stuff like that. But I still like, you know, that feeling I used to get when I get up Saturday mornings and get me some cereal and I would sit there and watch cartoons from like, seriously, it had to be like 5 o'clock in the morning to like noon or maybe 1, you know. And then after that, Championship Wrestling came on, and I just sat there after that and just watched wrestling. You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, I missed those times when I was a kid, and I kind of that's kind of what we wanted to bring back to that Saturday morning cartoon feel, that feel of like, you know, camaraderie, that feel of like everything you did was almost, you know, when you were a kid, everything you did was almost like an adventure, you know, that type of thing, back to the comic books, you know.
Well, you're talking about serious comics. Like I said, I mean, I'm a huge fan of stories like Watchmen, and I'm a firm believer that the medium has to mature. It has to become, it has to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So stories are going to be interesting to adults, but at the same time, too, you've got to get something to get kids into comic books.
Right.
You got to have a different level, and you can have like a Superman comic book like I used to read when I was a kid back in the 70s and 80s that would appeal to like an 8-year-old, but at the same time too, that 8-year-old is going to grow up to become the kid who discovers Watchmen or discovers Will Eisner's Conflict with God and Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns.
Right. Like there's no way that I would give Anakin Dark Knight Returns or Watchmen. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can't start there, you know. So, you know, and one of the joys that I got personally one time was on Free Comic Book Day. I walked in a Free Comic Book Day at our Comics and Collectibles, and there were some kids that were sitting in the floor, and they were all sitting there going, with Shinobi Ninja Princess looking at it, being like, "Oh, that's me! Oh, that's me! Oh, whoa, that's cool! I love that! That's me!" You know what I mean? And that was really, really cool. You know what I mean? Especially something at like Free Comic Book Day when there's tons of free stuff around and stuff like that. And that's just the kind of stuff that I want. I want to be able to appeal to the kids and, you know, have some fun with the medium again. And that's the thing, is like, I think that we all in our grown upness, you know what I mean? We all take like everything so seriously. You know what I mean? We it's almost to the point to where we can almost pull out the fun of it, you know? And it's to comic books, I think it always needs to have a sense of fun. Even when it's serious, it's still got to be fun. You know what I mean? So, to that, you know, like to that respect, that's what we want to do. You know.
Well, it was something that I kind of noticed with fans is there are certain fans who they kind of forget that once upon a time they were children and that they enjoyed things as children, and they see what they enjoy from their current perspective, and they kind of guard it as if it's just for them. And it's like, no, it's you know, you were once a kid too. When did you first discover the Hulk? When did you first see Batman? How did you see Batman? You know, and you just have to kind of like open their eyes and be like, you know, this is not just for you. This is a medium which can appeal to anyone. So
exactly.
So, you know, we need, if we're gonna keep this kind of thing continuing, you know, we're all gonna die someday. There's like kids that come after us, so
wow,
we need them interested.
That just went real dark.
We need the future to continue loving comics and the mediums.
Well, my thing is, I always tell people the big thing that DC and Marvel is missing is that you're not hitting the next generation. You're missing an entire generation of customers. This is kind of controversial, but I always take the approach of drug dealers. I'm like, get them young, hook them young, give them the free samples, Free Comic Book Day. Then move them up to the heavy stuff. It's like, okay, you love comic books? Guess what? We got some short stories. You like short stories? We got novellas. You like novellas? We got some novels.
Yep.
We can hit Russian epics. Russian epics gonna blow your mind. And you get them in there. I mean, the thing is, it's like a drug dealer going, well, we're not going to get onto the preschool or anything like that. We're going to get the guy who's already got the $400 heroin addiction already. It's like they're hitting guys like me, and the thing is, they're making books for me that I don't want. I want the books I had when I was 8 years old. I want the books that made me a Superman fan and a Batman fan. The books that inspired me, like you said. And as a writer myself, doing kids comics for Golden Kid Comics Company, I helped to co-found. I'm enjoying writing superheroes for kids now because that reminds me of what superheroes were all about being
Right.
inspirational and about being something that kids can look up to and aspire to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part. That's the fun part of doing comics. I just think that we need to be able to stick more to that fun part of doing comics a little bit more, you know.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've noticed it with conventions. I know myself, like I said, doing Golden Kid and also doing, I worked with Campfire Graphic Novels, which is a company out of India. We used to do adaptations of different classic novels and such. And I would get parents coming up to me going, thank you for doing something that's kid friendly, because they're looking around trying to find something for the kids and they're like, well, we can't buy that because that's too graphic, that's too gory, and we just can't do that. So
yeah, we actually we had my first experience with doing Shinobi Ninja Princess, like, really to tell you the truth, was before let's say, so before it was published, I planned on doing it as a comic strip and a web comic on the web, and for free and everything else.
I thought for sure somebody was going to blow the back of our controls head off here.
I think we got somebody unmuted, so.
That's pretty realistic. Stripping out the side there. Here's another squib that never quite exploded like it should have, but it worked out.
I was gonna say, if everybody could check your microphones. I'm showing everybody muted here, but
I can hear you.
although the problem is we can hear somebody else in the background. That's the problem.
Face first, there's no padding underneath them.
Okay, I think I got it. Sorry, Wade, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Okay, so but what I was saying was that, so we were going to do it as a comic strip, and what it was that it was just like little shorts that I used to write, and me and Janet used to like laugh at them and enjoy them on the way home, and she would have like little things that she would input in, and then I would go in and write it, and we had fun. We're just going to do web comics with it, one of my first, how I kind of knew we were on the right track is because I used to draw at Starbucks. I used to work at, I used to do graphic design work, and then get off of work and then go teach adjunct classes at the University of Memphis. And in the middle of that, in between those, I had like maybe like 45 minutes to an hour break. So what I did was I used to go to Starbucks and work on pages and get them knocked out on the way going to University of Memphis. And I was drawing, and this guy walks up and he saw what I was drawing, and he stops me. He was like, "Hey, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is my comic strip that I'm working on. I'm trying to get it published. You know, hopefully we can make something out of it." And he looked at it and he goes, I just really want to say, man, I was watching you draw it for a while. I just really want to say thank you for doing it, because I have daughters and I want them to get into comics, and I don't know what to give them right now. And to see this, you know, it gives me like, you know, hope that there's going to be something out there soon. And man, I was like, wow, that's the kind of feeling that I wanted to get. You know what I mean? I wanted to be able to get that type of feeling of you know, lack of a better term, hope. You know what I'm saying? And fun. You know, for not just kids but adults too. You know what I mean? And having him say that, I knew I was on, you know, a quasi right track. You know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I came up when Dark Knight Returns was coming out and Watchmen came out. I was like 16 years old when those books came out. And I remember every guy I knew that was in the comics that were my age or just a little bit older, they were excited when Dark Knight Returns came out because everybody was like, yeah, this will finally get everybody to forget about Adam West and that Batman series from the 60s.
Right.
Because a lot of them were guys who were like, well, comic books are mature, they're adults, and we just got to make people stop thinking about all the silly stuff. And deep down, I think as you get a little bit older, you mature and you start getting wiser, and you start to realize the Adam West Batman wasn't a bad thing.
Right.
We need more Adam West Batman and a little less Frank Miller Batman, in my opinion.
Right. Well, especially nowadays, since everybody went overboard.
Oh, I know.
But
and Jen, I agree with what you said about they tend to forget as they get a little bit older. They start to realize they want that feeling that got them in the comic books, that hope and inspiration.
Yeah.
They want to look at these superheroes and say, that's what inspired me as a kid. That's what made me believe in truth and justice.
Right. So yeah.
Speaking of which, like I said, you guys have been guests at Superman days before. What got you into Superman as a kid yourselves, or what were some of the comic books that got you into all this?
I'm gonna let Janet.
Okay, well, I'm a little bit off the beaten path. When I got into comics, let's see if I could remember that far back. I remember looking at like it wasn't DuckTales, it was like Scrooge McDuck.
Oh yeah.
But this was like before I could even read. So I remember seeing comics that I guess my dad had kept in a drawer, and I couldn't read, so I was just following along with the pictures and making up the stories as I went. And oddly enough, was it Will Abner? Will Abner was in that drawer too. So, yeah. But okay. So, when I was actually getting into comics the medium, it was when I was in high school, and it was with the X-Men. So, I don't want to like I don't know how this looks on me, but I have never actually been into like Superman comics because wow, because I was never I never had access to it. But for me to have access to like the Superman character, of course Superman was like on Super Friends on Saturday mornings, and then later on it was the Batman Superman Power Hour on the Kids WB, you know, and they had like great animation. That was like wonderful animation, yeah, with Bruce Timm and stuff around that time with the great stories. So I can't technically say that I have read a Superman comic.
Horrible.
Jen, I got to admit, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little hurt, but you seem like a very nice lady, so I'm going to let it.
Thank you.
I say that we vote her off the ship.
No. Wait. Okay, this is going to seem like better late than never, but better late than never. He actually got me the latest. Was it the first trade of the first part of the story of Superman Fights the Klan?
Yeah.
Yes.
With is his name Gene Yun, who illustrates and writes it, and he worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novels. So
I actually just reposted those episodes last night on my Facebook page. The original radio.
Yeah. I wanted to take a look at those. I saw that. I wanted to take a look at those when I had the time.
There was something about a radio station in Wisconsin. They started banning the old radio dramas because they thought there was questionable content. And I'm like, yeah, like Superman fighting the Klan. That's real questionable. It's like
right.
But again, better late than never. And like I said, you did name your child after one of the cool Star Wars characters. So like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. But read some Superman comic books. You got.
I'll read more. I'll put that on my to-do list. That's my homework.
Alan Moore's For the Man Who Has Everything, and Alan Moore's.
Oh, where he walked. Yeah, wasn't that where he walked through among people and he stopped someone from?
No. It wasn't the same thing. No.
It wasn't.
No.
I kind of remember reading that one.
No.
I'm not good with titles. I'm sorry.
No.
Get
Vote her off.
I'll just
You
leave.
get out. Bye.
get her a copy of For the Man Who Has Everything, and Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. The Alan Moore Superman books are those are the best.
The episode with the Starro.
Not Starro. You're making it worse.
I'm mixing all this stuff in
You're making
there.
it worse. God.
Wasn't there a robot? No.
No. Just.
But actually, there was the Batman Beyond episode where Superman was being controlled by Starro. So I will give her that.
I remember that one too.
That was that one. But Bruce Timm made a kind of For the Man Who Has Everything with the Black Mercy.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. So it was they took a part of that book and they made it.
Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
remember that one. Next person.
Anakin. No, well, me? You want me to go? You want to go? All right. So me, my Superman books, tell you the truth, came from the Superpowers. No, I take that back. Even before Superpowers was the Kurt Swan books.
Yes.
Was the Kurt Swan books. But I didn't, because back in the day there was no there was only the spinner racks, and sometimes in the spinner racks you miss issues, so there was not really a continuity that I could follow. I think the first time that I really started following a continuity was Superpower books, because that was when the Kurt Swan books were kind of they weren't numbered in well, the ones that I had were like numbered pretty high, like you would find like 100 and something, and then you would find an Action Comics, and you would find something. You know what I mean? It was like it was sporadic in the. So if I got 2 Superman books, none of them were ever the same. They never followed the same story. Yeah. So I didn't follow the same story until Superpowers came out, and but that was kind of my introduction to the world of DC Comics because of Superpowers. And then after that, I ended up going, Superpowers came out, and then Crisis came out, Crisis on Infinite Earths. I followed that. I got, after Superpowers, I really, tell you the truth, got more into the Justice League comic book, but only by way of Robin and the Teen Titans, because they had that crossover where Robin, the Teen Titans fought the Justice League, and that got me into the DC proper. So you had this. That's when I started to find out more about. That's when I started to find out more about the different like universes and different takes. Mm-hmm. On them, you know what I'm saying? So as a kid, it was kind of confusing to me to have like Super going on and then Justice League, but they not have Justice League of America, and they not be really they're the same team, but they're different iterations. But then you had Teen Titans that crossed over with that. So I kind of left Superpowers and went down to like Teen Titans, Justice League, DC proper. And then they rebooted everything with with Crisis, and then my real jumping on point from day one with Superman was the John Byrne run of Superman after Crisis, when they relaunched everything, and his his Superman looked really close to the Christopher Reeve Superman, and I was like, oh, okay, now I got a complete picture of where I can start. And ever since then, I've been following Superman pretty regularly. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. I've been following him pretty regularly, all the way up to I'll fall off, fall back on, depending on who's writing and whatnot, or who the artist is. But all the way up to the New 52. And then the 2 Supermen that came out of New 52 and Rebirth, and then the Superman getting chopped down to 1 Superman, and
So what you're
it's a
saying
lot of
is
craziness.
when you were young, you had like several versions.
It was several versions.
To wade through, and then it got condensed.
Yeah.
To a singular,
A
almost
singular
like
version.
universe.
Yeah.
And that's how you followed it.
Yeah, it was so Superman. Really, tell you the truth, to me, before Crisis was a if you really think about it, a series of people that just kind of looked the same and had the same powers. They acted differently from book to book, like depending on what was going on in superpowers, his powers could be kind of dumbed down compared to what was going on from the early Kurt Swan stuff. Like the early Kurt Swan stuff, he was earth-shattering powerful. Like he would move planets and stuff. And then you get to like superpowers, and he was getting failed by like Lex Luthor in a mecha suit. And then you get over here in Teen Titans, and Teen Titans versus Justice League version, and he's still Superman. He's still powerful, but it's like a mix between superpowers and the Kurt Swan version. But he's a little bit more younger, maybe a little bit more hip. He has a little bit more of a romantic relationship with Lois Lane in those books. You know what I mean? So to me, it was like almost without knowing it, 3 or 4 different Superman that I followed until Crisis. And then it was just like, okay, that's one Superman, you know? That's kind of long and short of it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how I got into it. What about you, Anakin?
The movies. And and the animated series.
This is the new generation right here.
Yeah.
I only watch the movies.
You haven't educated me.
What?
So that's your fault. You haven't.
Where you going? I did educate him. No, but his introduction really
Anakin, don't throw your dad under the bus.
What'd you say?
Don't throw your dad under the bus, Andy.
Man, for real. What I'm trying to say.
He does that all the time.
I
We
thought-
throw
I
each
thought-
other under the bus, so it's kind of like a family thing.
The bus just keeps rolling. It just depends on who's up under it at that one particular time. It just rolls over.
Well, again, you did name him Anakin, so
See, there we go. Yeah, I get so many points for that by itself. But
I am.
maybe I'm over one. Maybe when throw you under the bus. I mean,
yeah, but his thing was like he's more into the movies. Like I think that his first Superman movie that he saw that we showed you was
Long Nail, dude.
was the
live action.
Yeah, we watched Superman 4. He was, remember, with Solar Man.
Long Nail, dude.
The long nail.
If you do not tell me, I will hurt people. Yeah. So that was his first Superman
Why did
movie.
you do that to him?
If you do not tell me, I will hurt people.
That was probably something that was on at the time, but
That movie, people talk about how, oh, I hate that movie. Man, that movie was fun, dude. I mean, I had fun with that movie. You know,
It's the best movie.
Superman got scratched on his neck and he got sick.
oh,
He got the flu. Man, he got the
solar sickness.
Yeah,
or
he got the
whatever.
solar sickness, and then he had to go
Even
use his
though,
last crystal.
Shouldn't that make him more powerful?
I would think, yeah. Now,
Because of the sun.
Because it's our son.
wait, let's think about this.
Hmm.
They weren't thinking straight.
It seemed like he should be like even more powerful. He would probably get sick, like, man, something's going on, something's wrong, and then he would get even more sick, and then he would come back and be like, look, you just gave me a power up.
you better
Thanks for the power up. I'm finna go. Yeah, man. Solar Man should have been like a solar battery for him.
Go ahead.
I gotta go back and watch this. There's some science that I'm missing here.
Talk about it online.
Nuclear Man, not Solar Man. He was Nuclear Man.
Oh, it's
Not
Nuclear Man. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
they were talking
different. It's
about
different. Nuclear
the-
power. It was
the
yeah,
environment.
the environment. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, now
So,
that
never mind.
there we go. Nuclear Man.
We get it.
Now we know why he would get nuclear power for it.
Yes.
We get it.
If
Okay.
you don't tell me, I will.
Man, that was
And
messy.
we did talk in an earlier panel how the Superman speeches and Superman 4 were still really good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I like
I
Superman
can
4.
joke about that movie, but it still had some good points.
It had some good points.
It-
One of the CGI was not that great, which Anakin points out every time he sees it. CGI.
I mean, it's a product of its time.
We were actually discussing that
That's how I am, though.
when Todd didn't show up. We were actually talking about that. And again, Christopher Reeve is Christopher Reeve. He's Superman.
Yeah.
Plus, I was telling him my mom, unfortunately, before she passed away, developed dementia, and she loved Superman. She'd watch Superman cartoons. She'd watch the movies. One of my happiest memories is watching Superman 4 with her on WGN at like 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like one of the times she was fluid, and
Yeah.
she loved it because it was Christopher Reeve. So
Yeah.
I have happy memories about it.
Yeah.
Plus, too, you got to remember this was by the time canon. And for folks who do not know what canon movies are, you didn't live through the '80s, and you missed a lot of really good stuff. And
Yeah.
for those who do know canon, remember they came very close to doing Spider-Man also.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
They did.
Yes.
They were super close to doing Spider-Man. And then they had there was something there was a mix up between the budget between Superman 4 and the budget between Superman 4 and Masters of the Universe as well, because they
Right.
both were doing those, I think, kind of like either really close together or almost at the same time. So a lot of the budgets were going back and forth. It's a lot of history in those movies, those canon movies like that.
Canon would get money to do movies. They'd get money to do Superman 4, and then they'd make Masters of the Universe, and the Masters of the Universe didn't take off. And then
Yeah.
Oh, that sucked.
Masters of the Universe. I'll fight you on that one. That's a good one. It's got Billy Barty and fried chicken. How can you not like Billy Barty and fried chicken? Come on.
Wait, are we talking about?
He-Man
about
did not have the power.
The movie. That's one of the movies that he saw, and he was like, "Are we still watching Masters of the Universe? Are we still watching He-Man?"
Because they were like in
Because
the
they went to
mall
Earth
all
and they went
that.
to Mall and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Somebody, I was listening to something. It was a podcast. Somebody was, or it may have been something for this. Somebody was talking about watching that movie, and they would love to run into Courtney Cox and go like, "I loved you in Masters of the Universe. What have you done since then? I don't see you anything."
Oh
Just
no!
that one person would do that, and I would love
Right.
to see that.
Oh my god!
that'd be funny.
But no, yeah, you got the chick from Friends, you got the guy from Star Trek Voyager. Scott Bakula's wife is, the female lead in that. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
Quantum Leap, Star Trek, and NCIS New Orleans. It's like the trifecta, and she's
Right.
married to that, so it's like that's perfect. And Billy Barty and fried chicken. Who does not like Billy Barty and fried chicken? I'm sorry, I get excited about
It
this.
was like that guy went to Popeyes before they started shooting with film.
Now that was Supergirl. That was Supergirl with Popeyes.
yeah.
I like that Masters of the Universe, but it could have been better.
Again.
It could have been better.
Again, it was canon. Canon is just.
Canon is canon.
Again,
Yeah.
if you didn't live through the '80s, you don't know what canon was. Canon was.
Right.
Canon was awesome. Like I worked at a video store when I was in college, and I used to push the Canon films all the time because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, I grew up on canon movies, man. Canon movies were also the ones that they did a lot of they did a lot of the martial arts movies too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
A lot of martial arts movies. And I grew up on those, man. So superhero cartoons on Saturday and Kung Fu Theater on Sunday, man. That was me. That was my whole weekend was set.
Well, you're talking about watching cartoons at 5. We had our ABC affiliate. They'd start running old cartoons at like 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Yeah.
So basically, you watch that, and then they had Midnight Wrestling on right after cartoons went off.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were running episodes of Bonanza and Star Trek, and then if you got through the news and everything, you'd sit through Love Boat and Fantasy Island. That was your whole Saturday right there.
Yeah. And then at our place, they pretty much did the same thing. They had championship wrestling right after that. Then they had the news. And then late at night, I remember this. I used to watch Soul Train, and used to have like dancing and stuff like that. And then right after that, Soul Train went off. They played Batman with Adam West.
Soul Train.
And that was like by the time that happened, after that, I was by the time that happened after that, it was like 12 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? And I was done. You know what I mean? I was done. So yeah. Saturday used to be awesome.
I can remember actually being a kid, being like 13, 14 years old. I would actually wake up Friday morning for school, come home, start watching TV, and wouldn't go to sleep until like Sunday night, because all the good stuff was on the weekends. That's when they ran Star Trek, horror movies, cartoons, wrestling, the martial arts films. I mean, that was when all the fun stuff was gone.
Yeah. That's the feeling that we want to share with Anakin. You know, I would love to be able to take him back to that time of let him just veg out on having fun.
There's a magic period where I grew up where we didn't have VCRs, we didn't have on-demand streaming, and it's like if something came on at 4 o'clock in the morning, you wanted to see it, you had to stay up.
We're taking down now, so I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. But no, like I said, if you wanted to see it at 4 o'clock in the morning, you had to stay up and watch it. And I envy kids today that have like the streaming services and can watch anything they want to, but at the same time too, they'll never know that joy of like looking through the TV guide, looking for movies and TV shows, and finding them. So.
Right. You just jump it up. You just jump it up and be like, oh snap! You know they're gonna show a whole week of Superman or something like that, or oh man, just being happy.
One of my happiest memories was being 15 years old, and we had 2 UHF stations in my hometown. During the weekday mornings, they were showing the Planet of the Apes films based on the TV series, and then the other UHF station was showing the Planet of the Apes, the actual movies themselves. And they were both doing Ape Week at the same time, so it's like watch one Planet of the Apes movie in the morning and then watch the other one at night. And that was my childhood. So, comic books and old movies and TV shows. That was me.
Yeah, I saw Carlin just put Dutch Mantel up there, man. Dutch Mantel, boy. That dude, I used to hate seeing that dude coming, man. I used to be like, when I was watching wrestling and like somebody was doing an interview or something, and they'd be like, oh, and here comes Dutch Mantel to say what he has to say. I was like, oh man, something's gonna go down. Like he was gonna have a bullwhip. He was gonna be beating somebody over the head with a chair. He's gonna choke somebody out. It was just like, yeah. Really, ironically, and this goes to this kind of goes to this. This is off the subject, on the subject, but I actually got a chance to live a dream because I worked at up until recently. I worked at AutoZone Park, and I did graphic design for them. But I also helped them do some theme nights and things like that. And one of their theme nights was wrestling night. And I got a chance to come up with the wrestling material, the storyline for the night. I got a chance to sit in on the wrestlers' meetings. I got a chance to kind of play promoter and talk to Lance Russell, and I mean not Lance Russell, Dave Brown. Talk to Dave Brown and tell him, hey, I got a chance. I can tell him that I got that I was able to. This is what you're going to be doing for the night. This is what this person's going to be doing for the night. It's a lot of, it was really fun. It was like really living out a dream, you know what I mean? Talking to Coco Beware, and talking to, Jerry Lawler was there and trying to scope out how he was going to interact with our mascot Rocky and coming up with how the finisher was going to be. It was really fun. I got a chance to live a dream doing that.
You got to produce a wrestling show.
I got to produce a wrestling show. A Memphis wrestling show. Saturday morning wrestling show.
Memphis wrestling show.
And we even had the baseball game started with the traditional doom 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 with the guy the two wrestlers,
statues.
yeah, two wrestlers fighting at the wrestling statue, going around on the Lazy Susan.
Awesome.
So that was fun. That was fun.
But if you ever need a wrestler for any other shows, I have a friend of mine, Mike Phillips, I was hoping he was going to be able to join us this weekend. He wrestles under the name Seymour Snot. He's the wrestling geek.
Oh, yeah?
But he's a huge Batman and Superman fan. I was hoping he was going to be able to join us this weekend. Hopefully he will eventually. But I've seen some photos. I've actually got some autographed photos of him as Seymour. And it's a great character.
Seymour Snot sounds like a Garbage Pail Kid name.
Well, it's really cool because he's got like the glasses with the tape on it and the dorky shirt, but he's got like the Batman tattoo on the muscular arm and everything. So.
Ah.
And I was noticing the time. We've got to get ready for our next panel coming up. We want to have some time for everybody and everything. I want to ask you guys to let folks know, how can we find your comic books? How can we find you? What's your website?
Well, our website right now, we have ToshigawaUniverse.com, and it has our store on there as well. If you're looking for, really tell you the truth, if you're looking for digital comics, like a lot of people are reading, kids are reading digital comics now. They're on Comixology. Comixology is a company that's owned by Amazon, and you can download pretty much, you can pay one fee, and then you can download as many Shinobi Ninja Princess comics as you would like, as like a subscription. So that's on there. And then we also have our hardcover here on Amazon as well. And if you see us at conventions and stuff, you can always get them from us then. We also have shirts, we have statuettes, we have like little toys and figurines and stuff like that. Those are all available on at Toshigawa Universe or at our store or at cons when you see us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I normally I would ask what cons we could see you guys at, but I think everyone's basically taking 2020 off except doing the CyberCon. So.
Yeah. We've got a con scheduled if it's still going on, and it's for
it's in October.
It's in October.
And it's in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
They still haven't said if they were gonna like that was supposed to actually be wasn't it in May?
It was in May.
It was supposed to be in May, but because COVID hit, they pushed it back to October. Yeah. So if things do not improve, I'm pretty sure they're gonna cancel that. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna do fingers crossed and take precautions and have hand sanitizer and Lysol and masks and all that stuff.
Yeah, and if we're always on social media, so if you're like Facebook or Instagram, if you look up Toshigawa Universe on there, we're on there. We also have our YouTube show, which is called Wade's World, and that's like behind the scenes of some of our artwork. Me and Anakin play video games together, and
it's a new channel, so don't. Yeah,
it's a new channel, so you can go there and just sign up, subscribe, and me and Janet do artwork there as well. And we had some special guests, like we had Michael Jai White on there and stuff like that, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more special guests as we go to cons and stuff, and we do some behind the scenes at the cons that we go to, because we do a lot of crazy stuff. Between me and Janet and Anakin and our friend editor Kevin Williams, we're crazy behind the scenes, and that's where most of the fun takes place, is behind the scenes of these conventions. So they'll be there. You get to see that on Wade's World as well.
Well, I was gonna say, if you're not crazy, you shouldn't be making comics. That's my opinion. It's like the old joke about you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. So.
Right. So,
well, I was gonna say, we've also got we announced your panel at the Facebook page. If you guys want to post any links there where people can get the books at too, please by all means feel free to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wade family, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being our guest, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys more because, like I said, I do kids comics too, and I'd love to talk to you a little bit more. And it's always great to meet other folks in the industry that are looking out for the kiddos. So
yeah, well, just let us know when. Like I said before, and we can talk. I'm always eager to talk to other comic book guys and stuff in the industry. So
awesome, man. Great. Well, guys, thanks again. I appreciate it very much. And like I said, we're going to be doing some panels coming up next. We've got the why can't they be super friends, which is basically why can't Superman and Batman be buddies. If you guys want to join in on that one, you're welcome to. We'd love to have you. We're looking for some more panelists. And we had a panel scheduled for 5 o'clock today. Charlie was going to do a thing on super hair for costuming, I guess. And it's gotten pushed back till next tomorrow. So we're actually going to replace that with a panel about who's the best live-action Superman.
Ooh.
Reed versus Reed.
That sounds like a fight.
That's a fight right there. Like everybody's gonna be.
Everyone be nice.
Bane versus Devil.
I know,
Ralph
right?
versus Ralph. So we're gonna have some fun with it. So
right.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're gonna keep it light and frothy. So. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop the meeting right now so I can get ready for the next one. But again, thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate that. And it was a pleasure meeting you.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Guys, take care.
See you later.
Hey, guys. If I can find the... There we go. I was just thinking.